So we are finally starting the second season at OFK Beograd, and I am really excited because we generally don't know what to expect. Apart from the fact that we are expected to finish bottom of the table by some distance, the media do not rate us that highly. The team that won our league last year, Vostovec, are actually expected to finish in 5th, which tells me that their relegation really was a shock because of the fact they're actually expected to be finishing so highly. How on earth did they get relegated? We've got 98.4 grand in the balance, and we're expected to be keeping ourselves in the positive in the bank balance, so we're looking to do really well there and ensure we do good things. Sponsorship wise, we have got the worst sponsorship in the league. We're only making 63,000 in the sponsorship per year, and that is not enough to keep the club alive, especially when you compare us to Red Star and their £2.5 million a year in sponsorship. Since we have last met, we've actually managed to get ourselves 2 coaching badges and are already getting a National A license, so our attributes are already looking quite good, and after this season we hope to get quite far into the coaching badges and get all of them within the next 2 or 3 years. We are going to be relying on the goals from Latovic again this year. He got quite a few goals last year in the second tier, 15 goals to be exact, and 6 assists. He had 21 goal involvements in 25 matches. We're hoping he can produce the goals for us again next year, and we are hoping that if we are to survive, this man will be good enough to do it. He's actually considered one of the very few players in our squad to be good enough for the top flight, as is Filip Bozic, which may be a bit of a strange problem to have because he's actually not a fan of big matches. He is consistent and also has injury problems, so I'm a little concerned that his big matches fear is going to cause us problems going forward. I am playing him as a DM though, as a deep line playmaker, so hopefully he won't be causing us much problems there. Alexijevic is also one of those players that is really good and good enough for the top flight. We're hoping that he can do really well for us as a Mazzala. He doesn't like big matches, again, yes, another issue with that, but he is good enough for the top flight and is consistent, and he's a fan favourite as well. We're hoping he can do more with us this year. Unfortunately, that's the best of the bunch, but Lazar Pazic is also someone who's actually become quite good for us, and I am thinking this guy's a starter and he will be with us for a long time. Even if he's not good enough for the league right now, I genuinely believe this guy will be good enough for the top flight in the upcoming years, and he's only 21 and can only get better. We've got Alexis Kostic Milutinovic as well, not good enough for the division, very consistent though, but doesn't like big matches and is injury prone, so again, not ideal. Last year, he only got a 6.7 rating despite scoring 4 goals and getting 10 assists. You would have thought that someone who is this good would actually be able to get more contributions, and with the goal contributions he did get, have a better higher average rating, but he just went missing a lot of the times this year in the division below. Hopefully he can do better. But Popovic is someone we're hoping will be very good and will develop quite nicely in the upcoming years. He's only 20, he is very consistent, and doesn't have any major cons that I can see outside of that. So, our main right back, and the only defender that generally could be good enough. And if you look at this, we are trying to bring Jovanovic into the team. He's not consistent at all. This is our problem. If this is going to be our left back, along with Ivan Mladovic, we're kind of buggered in the left back position. It will take us a while to get going. Surely we can't survive, right? Let's get to the winter break. So we're at the winter break, and surprisingly, we're not in terrible form. Yes, we're actually doing quite well for us, despite being not amazing. After 21 matches, we're actually up in 11th place, and we're actually winning matches. Yes, we've lost more than half our matches, but I was expecting to be rock bottom and be where the Zek are currently. So yeah, this is quite frankly a very good season for our point of view. And let's go with the games we've had, because yeah, if you look at the beginning of the season, we lost 5 games in a row, and were even beaten 6-1 by Vostovec. Apparently, they took issue with us winning 4-0 at their ground last year, and kind of destroyed us. And when you look at the teams that we had to take on in the first 2 matches, Red Star surprisingly only beat us in the 82nd minute. It tells you that, yeah, we had some very difficult games, and we should be grateful we even made it this far. But then we lost some games that we should have never lost. We were 2-0 up in this match against Java Ivan Yuka, so yeah, 93rd minute winner for them. and we were 2-0 up after 46 minutes. Not ideal. We then lost again after taking the lead in this game, so again, not ideal. And yeah, this game, 6-1, worst of it of the year. I don't think I can get worse than this. And then we got a point against TSC, and I thought, you know what? Good on us, we're doing well. Then we got a win in the cup. Okay, we're getting better. Then we took on Kurabara and won by 6-1. I have no idea what happened here. Don't know why we did so well, but we got the win. We then took on Zumun, and yeah, we're good. 2-0 win again in the cup. Good to see us do well. Those that we actually drew against, so despite them being so bad, we couldn't beat them. It was we're probably one of the very few teams to give them points. I think, yeah, it was not good for us because we then took on Sparta Subotica, lost 2-0, lost 2-0 to Partizan. Despite them going down to 10 men, they're really good. And I was trying to get players first team football, so we beat them 2-1 after a 93rd minute winner from a youngster, Milas Kabur, so that's good. And then we took on this team and somehow beat them. Vojvodina is a very good team. I know how good they are because I've taken them in European games in other saves, so I know they're good. It's just a shock we beat them. It's just a shame we then lost to Roniski in the next match at home. But then we took on Novi Pazar and beat them in the cup to get through to the next round. And then we were able to win 5-1 away from home again. Why we were able to win 5-1 and 6-1 away from home, I don't know. But I'm not complaining. And then we were being 5-0 away from home. Crashing right back down to earth. Before we won a 2-0 win against Palata Novi Sad. And then Red Star beats 4-1 at their ground. Before we took on Java Ivan Jika and drew 0-0 before Red Star knocked us out of the cup. And then we lost 4-0 against Vuz Duvak, and they have beaten us 10-1 over 2 matches this year. I'm not a fan of it. TSC we drew 1-0 against, and then we won this game 2-0, and yes, very happy with that. And we will get to the youth intake before we get to the last game of the regular season, so let's get to the youth intake, shall we? Because it's pretty exciting. A striker, an attacking midfielder, a DM, and a centre midfielder. I wish we had fullbacks and centre backs and goalkeepers, but I'm not complaining. So let's go on and talk about them. Ladies and gentlemen, the youth intake has arrived, and hello. Look at this, 5 stars. A lot of players are really good. There's apart from this guy, but who cares about him? Pretty much all of the players we could sign it would not even look out of place. It really is, and that's exciting to me because we've got good players here. So if we were to talk about all the players, we are going to say that we've got about 2 players who could probably play a part in the first team right now, and maybe some players who could play in the part in the future. But Branislav Alexic is pretty decent. He's fickle, which is an issue, but he can play as a DM. We need more players who can play there because Slaban Ivanic is going to be going at some point, and I'm not sure he'll be around long term. And even though this guy is not great at the position because 4 passing as a DM, deep line playmaker, not ideal, but we've got a good player here who we can develop, and I will love that. What I have, though, is this guy, Mahi Bajramovic, and I think this guy could be really good as a box-to-box. Yes, I know it says balling midfielder, but I can see this guy developing quite nicely to be a box-to-box. And it's very exciting because we've got all the attributes he needs, apart from the finishing, but let's be honest, we can work on that. He's 16, he's balanced, he's got a Bosnian nationality as well as a Serbian nationality, so he could play for 2 international countries if he wanted to. And I think this guy could do really well for us, so excited to see how he does. We've then got Dusan Markovic, and really exciting for him because this guy's actually got some potential. Yes, his finishing is not great as a striker, but could be a deep line. He could be a midfielder as well if we wanted to be. I say that. Probably not very good, actually. So strikers for him. But he's unambitious. He's a target forward, apparently, at 5'11". I'm not sure why they think target forward when he's probably more of a pressing forward. And that's a pressing forward on defend. Yeah, he's got a few things to work on, but we need to work on him, and desperately, I think. Whether or not he'll make it in the first team, I don't know. We also got Vlada Vusa, and could be a good deep player. It could be a good defender. Could be a good player in the DM position. He needs work, but he's got a good starting point, and that, as far as I'm concerned, is good for us long term. We've got Vladen Lukic, who, as a winger, could be pretty decent. We use wingers on that side. It's good to know he can be good. He's very much a pace merchant, but honestly, pace is good if it can be utilized properly. And with his 9 dribbling and 7 flair, maybe it could be long term if he develops all the attributes we want him to. The last person I'm going to talk about is Dragan Manojolovic. I love this guy's name. I don't know why, but it's just the fact it's Dragan. I don't know why. It's probably just that really that gets it to me, but I will play wing backs. He's not great, but we can develop him. He's off the board too is an issue, but hey, we are surviving right now because since we last met, we won 3 games in a row. I can't believe it either, but we beat Karabara by 4-0 after beating them 6-1 at their ground. We've done what Vostovac did to us, to them. I can't believe it, but there we go. We won 4-0 against this team. They were down at 10 minutes, like 72 minutes after Gay gave away a penalty. And yes, Elvedin is actually a penalty taker. He's got the best penalty taking. That's all I've got to say about that one. He's a penalty taker. Yes, he's only got 4 finishing, but he's been scoring penalties. He has missed 1 this year. He's got 2 goals. But last year, he took 6 penalties and scored 5 of them. As far as I'm concerned, he's earned the right. But yes, we beat Karabara by 4-0. We then won 3-1 against Vezak. So we finally did that. And then we got the biggest win of the save. And we beat Spartak Subotica. And I can't believe we did it. But there you go. We almost shot Partizan. Because we equalised and then conceded 4 minutes later after they scored. Yeah, we almost beat them. We then got hit quite hard against in this game. We then won 3-0 against Mladost Lokani. Radniki beat us by 1-0. We then drew 2-2 against Pradik. And yeah, I thought, you know what? We beat them early in the season. We've now lost. We now got a point against them. We've done quite well for ourselves. So let's keep going with that. Especially when we are unable to get top half, but we are quite comfortably clear the relegation zone. If you told me at the beginning of the season I could say that, I probably would have taken it and absolutely milked it for its worth. We're doing quite well, and I'm excited because while we are practically not going to get relegated, we are only 5 points clear of relegation playoffs. We can work on that. So did we survive? Let's find out. So we lost 3-1 in the first game after we left, and you know what? I've kind of expected this to happen. Then we drew 0-0 against Vezak, and then lost 2-1 in the next match in the first 2 games of the relegation group, and I thought, oh god, we're going to do badly, especially where Kulubara took a 1-0 point off us. Maikan got a goal late on to really give us a share of sports, and he's developing quite nicely. He's now 21. Hopefully we can do well with him. And then we won our first game of this group, and finally, weight was lifted off my shoulders, because while we're drawing, we finally got a win. And then we took more points, and these 2 draws really was a relief. And then we lost 3-2 in the last game of the group, but we survived by 2 points in the end, because Proleta Novi Sad actually, I think, won the last game, if I recall correctly. Yes, they won by 4-1. It's not ideal, but the team they took on was already relegated anyway, and we have survived in our first season in this division. Can you believe it? I certainly couldn't. I thought we were certainly going to go down, but 42 points, and we survived with it. Quite frankly, that's great. We need to do more of that, though, in the future. Also, we've now got more players who are considered good enough for the top flight, and this guy, Lazar Pajic, is very much one of those people, and hello, we are doing well for ourselves, aren't we? Look at this guy. Really good at the moment. He's a top flight player now. We're going to have to keep hold of him desperately if we want to survive, I think. In the club vision, though, in the favourite personnel, we're actually in it. So, favourite people, we've actually managed to get there. I don't know how, but we did. We've now got the Continental B license as well, and our attributes are looking quite nice. But let's review the season. As you can understand, confetti's falling. We've done well. We had no signings. We loaned down Ogrika, and he apparently got 10 goals and 3 assists in his loan spell. He's 25. He might be struggling to get in the first team, but we have done well for ourselves. We did avoid, getting relegated, which for me, as far as I'm concerned, is probably the best thing we could do. We were only expected to fight brave against relegation. That's still the goal for next year. And we got to the second round of the cup. We were told not to be outclassed. We got to the second round. So really, the fact we got to a mid-table finish in the league and the second round of the cup is quite a good achievement. And the 6-1 win here was the biggest win against Kurabara, as you can understand. We got a 2-2 draw with TSC, which was the match to remember. I don't know why, but we did. And the goal of the season was actually one of the very last goals we scored and in the last games we had, and it was Lazovic's goal. So let's find this goal. And it was this free kick. Yeah, in off the post. I can see why that's a goal of the season candidate. That's not bad at all, is it? And it's quite nice to know we can do well here, isn't it? Finances, sponsorship was actually up by 20 grand. And we got broadcast revenue, which we didn't get before. Course hospitality, competition prize money, and match day commercial and retail all up as well. We made 18,870 from merchandise, and 1.8 grand of that was non-domestic. We sold only 456 shirts. We lined it like this, and you're going to see immediately, Lazovic got 25 goals this year. The man was on a mission to keep us up, and keep us up he did. What a man. He's 29 now. He's got 2 years left in his contract. We gave him a new deal, and we can extend his contract with an extension clause. Whether or not we'll do it long term, I don't know, but we'll have to find out. But 23 goals in the league, 25 goals in all competitions is outstanding. We could not survive without him, and I don't think he even won the player of the season, which was the most bizarre thing. But this is a good season, and yeah. Elvedin won the player of the season this year again, with Alexicevic getting the young player of the season, Lazovic getting the goal of the season and top goal scorer, Brazic getting the most assists, Lazovic getting the most man of the matches, Elvedin getting the highest average rating, while Bozic actually made 103 passes per 90 minutes, so that's not bad. And yeah, most goals in the season, 25 in all competitions, 23 in the league. Maikan got 2 goals in the game, which I think is a good sign for him. And Dejan Jevic, is actually retiring. Yeah, this is the thing I should probably mention. We're losing our first choice goalkeeper next year due to retirement. And that's not ideal for us because our next best goalkeeper is Lazar Stanijevic. So he's only 17. Are we going to be struggling with this guy in goal? I don't know, but it'd be nice if we weren't struggling. He actually did get some game time this year where he conceded 5 goals in those 2 matches. He's clearly not ready for the league, but I might have no choice but to throw him in the first team next season because, you know, retirement's getting in the way. Our first choice goalkeeper is retiring while he's at the highest level possible. So Elvedin isn't retiring yet. He'll be with us for another year. Even if he's only a leading player for the 3rd tier still, we're going to struggle with him, I think, when he goes, especially when our defensive frailties are exposed a bit more. Jasmine Kotovic actually has been playing this year and is developing quite nicely, though he's still ambitious. I wish he wasn't. But either way, 6'3", good defender. Otherwise, if we can develop him to be a first choice goal defender, that'd be perfect. But right now, he's only 16. He's got room to grow. We are literally being forced to play him along with Peteristic, who is a casual, and I hate the guy. I really do, because he keeps on either having bad matches or not performing training. You hate these casual personalities. But yeah, Lazovic got the most player of the match awards. Bozic has actually made the most appearances, 103 appearances now, and Lazovic has now scored 50 goals in the league. It's the most ever by a player. And Jovanovic is also retired, and he's now ahead of youth development, and it is not very good. I would be very surprised if someone picked him up. But yes, he's the oldest player to play for us at the age of 35 years and 176 days, which is no doubt be broken. Mizkabur, you know the guy I told you got that winning goal? This is him. He has got a goal. He's the youngest ever goal scorer for the club. He has potential to do well. I don't know if he'll ever reach it because of the players in his way, but he's actually producing some good things. I'm happy for him. But yes, that was the season. The board, thankfully, only want me to fight for against relegation again. So quite frankly, the fact that I only wanted that is a good sign. Let's see who actually gets relegated or promoted from the divisions. So we are here, and we have seen one team get relegated. Yes, Roletta and Novi Sad are staying up on away goals. Yeah, they actually do that in this system. While FK, Novi, Pazar are going up. We are losing a team from the relegation group, and quite frankly, it's not a shock when you think about it. So yeah, one team's gone down, one team survived. It's not the end of the world. Who actually went up is the question, though, from the 2nd tier. Since, you know, we got that. Oh, hello. Slogo got promoted. That's a shocker to me. and MacLeod are going up as well. So we have got at least 3 teams coming up this year, with Nova Pazar also coming up as well. We got our fierce rivals FK Rad in this division, and they finished in 6th. So they've done well for themselves in their first season back after they got relegated. Yes, literally, they were relegated and they had to come back from the relegation zone. It was bizarre, but there you go. They are quite good, apparently. In fact, none of the teams that got relegated actually went back up, it looks like here. Apart from Novi Bazaar, none of the teams got promoted from straight back up from this division, which is very interesting to say. And I'm interested with that situation to be. Also, we've given a new contract to Dusan Rakotic, and he's got potential. Not amazing right now, but I feel in the future he'll be really good. Along with Milan Maric. This guy is developing, and I'm kind of excited to see what he does. I am concerned, though, in the future that he will start to have issues and start to complain about bits and pieces because, you know, players don't like that. Also, the players that I gave contracts to last year in the youth intake are still on part-time contracts. So they're not even fully... This is why I'm giving all these players contracts right now, because they all on part-time contracts. We have given Maric a contract, so that's finally something we can work on. I feel like that some time has been lost in his development because of the fact he was not able to develop after signing the professional deal or the part-time deal, but now we're getting professional deals to our young players. That'd be good. Maric actually did play quite a few times from the bench. So we're giving him first in football from the bench and then working from there. But yes, that has been the second season rounded up. I very much appreciate the support for the first video and the first episode. I really am grateful for that. If you want to see the third season before the weekend, I would be very grateful. We got like as much as we did last time. That'd be great. Like the 19 likes we got. If you give me anywhere close to 15 likes, I'd be very happy with that. And I'll probably make a video in the middle of the week for the third season. I'm actually quite far into the save, so I can do that. But either way, I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.